I'm Devlin, visually impaired artist, and today we're making dog-inspired artwork based off some real heroes, guide dogs. So grab your art supplies and let's create.
Hi, I'm Helen. I'm one of the guide dog trainers here at Redbridge for Guide Dogs UK. I'm going to be talking to you about the different roles guide dogs have and the important aspects of their guiding behaviours to enable them to be a guide dog. So not just any dog can be a guide dog, we actually have a lot of special requirements with our dogs. One of these is self-control. They need to be able to avoid lots of distractions in the environment, including dogs, cats, squirrels. Also things like if kids have got in prams that have got an ice cream, we don't want them to go up and take the ice cream. And we also need them to have good recall. We need them to be good in the home, good on transport, and lots of other different things that enable them to be able to get around safely with leading a blind person. We use a few different breeds within guide dogs. These include Labradors, Golden Retrievers, German Shepherds and Labradoodles, and we also do a mixture of the breeds together, so Labrador cross Golden Retriever are actually one of our most successful breeds that we use. I teach lots of different guiding behaviours. These include curb work, which is where we get the dog to identify the curb edge. I also teach them right shoulder work, which is where we want them to give arms clearance on our right to enable a blind person or partially sighted person to get around the street safely. If you imagine closing your eyes and think about how difficult it would be to then try and get to your school. Now imagine what that's like on a daily basis. Really, really hard to actually navigate your route to school. So our dogs do learn familiar routes, so they don't work on the basis of take me to a school, take me to a bank, take me to the supermarket. However, we do get them on set routes so they get familiar with their environment and then they're able to lead that person safely around obstacles and different things in the environment. We also teach objectives, so we teach them to find the doors, we teach them to find benches, we also teach them to find traffic signal boxes as well and other crossings. And that enables a blind or partially sighted person be able to locate things easily. I'm going to show you a very, very important role that our guide dogs have to learn, and that is head-in harness. So again, if you imagine closing your eyes and trying to put a bit of equipment on a dog with no sight or very limited sight, it can be very, very stressful and very difficult. So we actually get our dogs to take some of that stress out and we get them to identify the harness themselves. Magoo is going to demonstrate head-in harness for you here. So he's put his head in the harness really nicely, really confidently. And if you imagine you've got no sight, this is a really helpful task for our dogs to be able to do.
I'm glad that Guide Dogs UK are able to share the work that they do, and I'm able to work with these lovely smart animals. I was excited to work on the Paws on the Wolf project, where we created dog artwork to go all along the walk path. So let's grab some art supplies and make one of my favourite animals. Okay, let's start making our dog. So first of all, you'll have your little packets like this, which contain your model magic. You want to start with a pack of yellow, so get your scissors and cut it open. If you struggle to use scissors, or you need a hand, there will be people who obviously struggle with their sight, so you do need these sorts of assistances. But at the same time, it is also some people learn to just cope with this. And that's partly why I got into volunteering with Guide Dogs UK. So what we're going to do to make our little dog is we're going to get two little balls, push them together, whoop, and you're going to make an even bigger ball. You don't have to use yellow though. You can always use a yellow mixed in with a different colour, or you can use any other colour you like. I'm going to roll it into sausage shape. With this, what we're going to do is we're going to divide it into 6 shapes. Now don't worry if your little balls end up looking not as perfectly rounded like this. All dogs are fluffy, aren't they? So you don't need to worry. With these, I'm going to pop to one side for the moment. Now the kind of dog we're going to be making can stand, but if you want to make it sitting, just like the ones that we've made from Paws on the Wolf, then absolutely feel free. So what we do is, all dogs have got big bit to the top of their paws, don't they? So you've got almost like a little rectangle shape pushing out the centre. We're going to do that to all 4 of them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to match up what we feel are the best sort of legs. All you need to do is just keep that and then swish, and you've got 1 set of dog legs. And the same for this. Swish the 2 top circular bits, and just like that, put them together, and that's how you can get a dog to stand. If you want him to be sitting down, don't worry, you can do the same thing. As you see, I've just pushed that black bit down so he looks more that sort of slant rather than up. Now then, you've got 2 more little bits here. Now one of these is going to become the head, so it'll sit there, and the other bit will become both the tail as well as any other bits you want to add onto your dog. Now that we've made him, we've got our other 2 little bits. We're going to take the bigger side of the 2 to make the head. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the leg building away from before, and you're going to pinch, 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 but you're not going to go as far, and the reason is because this bit is going to become his snout. So as you can imagine, if that was a dog and he had a snout about that big, there are dogs that do have long small snouts, but I don't think if that was his ears, that doesn't quite look like a dog, does it? No, we want to try and make a little golden retriever. They are very, very lovable dogs, and that's why they're used for guide dogs UK, retrievers, Labradors and German Shepherds. And that's because not only are they very easy to help train, as soon as their little leads are off, they know that they can just carry on being a dog. But as soon as that jacket goes on, they know playtime's over, we've got to go and help somebody. And as you can imagine, they need to help people cross roads and not get hurt. Okay, so this is what you do for the head. So we've got our little face. In terms of, it's just pushed a little bit to the front, and similar to the legs, it's got a circular back. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the smaller one, and we're going to roll it around. We're going to make it into an egg instead. So push that just there and join that there on top. Then we get some rough ideas of ears, and you can always just use a little ball and put it just against it. Don't have to push against it. You can just sort of pop it to one side, have a little look and go. Then you've got your 2 little ears, same size. Then with dogs, they usually sit about here. Every dog must have a tail. Just need to stick that on the back. You've also got a little bit left over. So to make the dog, if you want to add bits such as texture, so you can either get these bits here, just pull them apart so they make little lines like this. So you come on and just slowly pull them down. So that would give you texture like that. Whereas if you were to dig in with a toothpick, it would sort of more dig in, such as that. You can also combine, obviously, both of the textures. Pinch his little tail. We've made our furry little friend, but he needs his eyes, his nose and his tongue. We need a bit of black and a bit of white and a bit of red. Now I've made the eyes and the nose before, so the way you would do this is you'd roll up white, squash it down, do the same for the black. So you'd make 2 little white balls and you'd make 1 little black ball, put white, then a black ball and a white ball to make those eyes. You can obviously have a smaller dog eyes if you want, because that could look really big. Now the reason why he's got another little bit of white is that when you look at a dog, it will have a little bit of light come through. Now if you're not happy with either the size, or you think, oh no, you can always pull it back. That's the way that you would put on the eye. And again, similar to everything else, if you feel like it's too big, you can always squish it down. You can get some more yellow, you can push it around. So there we are, little happy chappy. But he wouldn't be happy if he didn't have a tongue, because then you couldn't eat all of his treats, could he? They use treats to train guide dogs, but if you were to look after a guide dog, you can't give him any treats. I don't think I'd be able to do that. Live in a house and not give a dog a treat. Don't know about any of you. Now, with his neck, you want it to be slightly thinner. And the reason is, as he's a guide dog, he's going to have to wear a collar. He's going to have to wear a little jacket, isn't he? All guide dogs wear jackets when training. And this little fella, he is a pup, so he's going to have a harness on, isn't he? So I'm going to be using that big bag of blue clay over there to try and make him a little harness. So we've got police dogs, fire dogs, guide dogs, so they will also help with other people, because with all their training they do also learn how to help with other people. So if they don't work as a guide dog, they can go on with their training to help as assistance dogs for people that aren't able to do other things for themselves. So people that have physical inabilities or disabilities. So if they struggle to, say, get things out of the washing machine, then they are fully trained to then take things out and assist the person for them. So all the training they go through can be used in more than one way. So how much do we reckon we might need for our little doggy? Shall we try this? Just about this size of his head. So what does a harness look like for a dog? You will have the harnesses that go on the dogs just here, but with the jackets they go along here, on this bit, all up and over. And for me, it's about the length of my finger, and say wrap it on round. And you can just pat it down. What you need to do is your finger just gently tap, 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 tap. So it gives that little definition of a back, and it also secures the jacket. And then we're left with a little bit another size of rough. His head, his legs, maybe a bit smaller. It's about the size of his jacket, isn't it? And this time I'm going to roll it out. You can always put it just like that. So it doesn't need to be very big, does it? So for the one for his tummy, it's probably only going to need to be about that big. And you also don't really need it to be that thick. So if we get this bit, so that actually might be perfect for his neck. That might be a good length for his chest. You go round, round, round. Same thing for the tummy. So this time, if you want to make sure it doesn't stick, you just need to pull these two bits away. The best bit to do is to make sure it goes underneath like that. There is one more thing we need to do for his little jacket. The last bit is guide dog logo. This one be a paw, a huge little bit like that. Another one on the other side. And what you do is you add a couple more little circles, or if you'd rather a bit more blue over this bit here, over, over, over. What you can always do is make the little paws instead. So what you do is you grab this bit, you pull it all the way along, and then just take tiniest little bits blue and put one there, and you've got a little ball. And then all it takes afterwards is just how you want to model your dog. Now mine seems to have decided he's going to sit down. He could end up laying down because he's had quite a long day, hasn't he? So if he was to lie down, he would end up just going like this and having quite a nice little chill time. But then he wouldn't have his jacket on, would he? It's time to play, isn't it?
Wow, that was really good fun. Thank you so much, Alex. I really enjoyed watching that. I hope you've enjoyed learning today a bit about what guide dogs do, the important role they have, and you've had fun whilst doing it.
I hope we've inspired you to share your love of dogs through art. And be sure to check out the other Crayola Arts of Learning videos and put your imagination into action.
Thanks again for watching.
Bye!